Hello, everyone, and welcome to EVTN News. And I don't have a ton of news stories today, but I do have some thoughts. Well, obviously, I have some thoughts, but everyone has thoughts. But I do also have some flashbacks for you, so that should be pretty good. So let's take a look. We're gonna start out with, let's see. Yes, we're gonna start out with one news story, and then the rest will be the Bishop of Charlotte. And as for Pope Leo, I've been monitoring his bishop appointments, and they haven't really been particularly noteworthy. But I'm sure we will get some bishops that will be interesting. So whenever that happens, just watch EVTN News, and I'll be here to bring you that information. But kind of keeping a low profile, which is kind of what you want a pope to do. So anyway, alright, the heterodox Cardinal Walter Casper called for the women's diaconate in his autobiography, which is to be published in June. He said, "In my personal opinion, the opening of the permanent diaconate for women has good theological arguments for itself and would be a pastorally sensible step," wrote the 92-year-old in The Truth on the Trail, to be released June 10th in Germany. So, um, there's that. And then, of course, getting to everyone's favorite topic, the Diocese of Charlotte. The Bishop of Charlotte was set to issue even more restrictions on the liturgy in the coming days, harshly critiquing the use of Latin traditional vestments, altar rails, and many aspects of normal liturgical ceremonies. Martin's restrictions do not take aim at liturgical aspects of Latin Mass, but now do not just take aim at the liturgical aspects of the Latin Mass, but now he seems to have found fault with many elements of the Novus Ordo liturgy. Among other things, the use of Latin, priests praying before and after Mass, reverence by the faithful to kneel for Holy Communion, ornate vestments, and the use of any traditional acts of reverence by priests in cleansing the sacred vessels, saying this misses an authentic understanding of accents and substance of the Eucharist. Now, sources inside the diocese have attested to the pillar that the proposed document has in fact been already laid aside by the bishop due to widespread opposition among clergy in the diocese. And so he is back down for now, which means he's going to try. Um, he's going to try more. What do you call it? Sneaky tactics, I guess. So he backed down. Now, there were online, if you've been following on social media, there has been widespread backlash against this bishop. Maybe not, and even in his own diocese, priests have encouraged him not to go forward with even the Latin Mass bans. And it reminds me of, well, it reminds me of Bishop Holley in Memphis. So, and I don't know that I don't know that his priests are necessarily revolting yet, but Bishop Martin Holley was kicked out of Memphis 10 years before his required retirement age by Francis in October 2018. He made some excuses as to why he was kicked out, but a few things stood out. He quickly reassigned 2/3 of his priests, and he brought in a priest from Canada to be his vicar general. So basically, all his priests lost confidence in him. And this is maybe a similar situation to Bishop Martin in Charlotte. I expect that many of the priests have lost confidence in him. It would be a good move for, well, I don't know. It might be a good move for the Pope to consider removing him if he's going to replace him with someone who's better. So it's interesting to see the massive backlash on Twitter. I can't ever recall seeing this level of pushback, even when Supich banned Latin masses on first Sundays. Later, Supich suspended the Institute of Christ the King's faculties, and if Martin had just slowly started crushing things. Would there be this much outrage? People criticize him over the Latin Mass ban, but the Reverent Novus Ordo ban really set some people off. And the point is that plenty of other bishops have banned Latin Masses. They have quietly stomped out reverent elements in the Novus Ordo and no one paid attention. But all bishops will now pay attention. They probably won't make the same mistake. And if they want to, if they want to crush certain things, they'll say stuff like all church modifications require the approval of the chancery. So that would basically prevent the construction of altar rails or moving the altar against the wall. They will privately reprimand priests who attempt to say ad orientem novus ordos. They will discuss unwritten requirements at priest meetings, and it's possible that those things are happening at a lot of dioceses around the country. So Martin is just not sneaky enough or cunning to implement this in a way where people will eventually accept it. So I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him be removed. All right. And 5 years ago, okay, so there was a bishop who banned ad orientem novus ordos and altar rails 5 years ago. Was there any backlash for it? Well, you saw it on this channel, and I linked the video down below in the description. It was Bishop Peter Christensen of Boise, Idaho. He banned altar rails, ad orientem novus ordos, and required priests to report if they were learning the Latin Mass during the virus shutdown. And then he published propaganda in his diocese newsletter supporting these bans and restrictions. So it's happening everywhere, and people just now started taking notice of it. It's nice to see people wake up. I don't know if anything will come of it, but it seems like people have, found a new thing to stand behind, and that's just how it works. So, as I said that I wouldn't have very many news stories, and I don't. So that's been it. That will be it for EVTN News this week. Kind of a quiet week, and as we get into the summer, it's always very spotty to see what people come up with. So, all right, well, thank you so much for watching. This has been EVTN News. Until next time, we are the laity, and we will not be silent.